Just pick the hero that's going to crush either one of these two, Tiny or Kunkka in the laning stage, and set up your game that way.
Also, a lot of synergy with the Drow aura, obviously. And does well versus Tiny, does well versus Kunkka, does well versus Void. Let's see how it goes. I like it.
You like the Razor?
I
Do you
like
like
Razor.
PSG LGD or Alliance more? Purely the draft.
Alliance's draft is better, in my opinion, but if LGD can pull off their flawless execution, maybe they can end this game before Void becomes too much of a threat for the Drow.
We've seen more from the Void than we've seen from the Drow Ranger throughout the DPC season and the tournament. But I'm still not sold on the Tiny. I think he's going to struggle way too hard in that mid lane.
Hater!
Jeez.
I'm just a hater, yeah. It's Limp Tiny. If anyone can make it work, it's him though, so let's see.
We're seeing that Drow be able to turn games around really hard though. Just like one misstep against a Drow and she could just blow up your hard carry in about half a second. I'm a little worried about LGD's ability to quickly kill somebody if they get jumped on, you know, but I don't know. I feel like, is this one all about who gets the initiation first?
That's a very good point, actually, because they also have the boat, the rum from Kunkka, so there's not going to be that much burst going on. I think they'd need to win their lanes and just get that early Roshan and snowball.
And there's a Shadow Demon as well versus the Axe. They have the save. PSG LGD do not. It's a much more difficult of a game for PSG LGD to play properly.
Very difficult execution for Radiant, but if anyone can do it, LGD's shown us they've got the execution, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot of this is probably going to come down to the Razor. If he's doing a good job and he's able to win his lane, he'll do well. But, okay, sorry, we bumped into Lizard's workout time again. Apologies, but it's all good.
What are you doing, Lizard?
He's got to get buff. You think this just happens naturally? All right, anyway. Well, we're going to buff you guys up with some great Dota, so stick around while Lizard puts on a few more pounds, and we'll see you right after Game 2.
So we see Lizard getting buff, and I feel like we're also going to have to see Alliance getting buffed up in this game, in particular the Void. To me, it looks like a pretty hard Void game, a pretty hard game for them to get off the ground. I feel like LGD has gotten themselves some very strong lanes, and they picked the Tiny and the Kunkka into Undying. Their Tombstone hitters are just missing. I don't know how you feel about that, Owen, but...
No, that's true. Yeah, I think the Undying, even that they have picks after it, it still ended up looking pretty good for White for Innocence. So
yeah,
I think these teams aren't going to be easy. There's definitely, as you say, going to be the pressure. They have got pretty good damage to throw into the Chrono. You know, there's a few ults here and there, the boat, the ice blast. But against some of these beefier heroes, you know, once Razor or Axe gets a bit of HP online, there definitely could be struggles for Alliance, especially in the brawls that you've got to imagine that PSG LGD are going to be bringing quite early this game.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of when I see Shadow Demon and AA paired up as supports. You know, you're pretty much completely reliant on your cores making all the plays. Right now, they'll get Innocence trapped up for a moment here, but there's an Undying. The stun will connect with the Cold Feet. They've got nice damage. The Orb of Venom also coming into play. His own Orb of Venom is hurting him a lot. That extra slow. He's going to get brought down here. He will. Nice.
Very nicely done. There we go. That's one way to make that support duo work. Just try and find yourself a first blood opportunity.
Use that Orb of Venom against him. That's the one thing about those SD illusions when you are playing versus a hero that picks up Uv early on. You just use it just to kill him inside of that lane or inside that early start. So good approach here from Alliance. Do feel like they need that to start off this game well versus this very quick early paced draft and very quick early paced aggression that's going to come out from PSG LGD. This Drow, this Razor, they're lane winners. The Razor in particular versus Tiny. I feel like a lot of this game will come down to Limp's performance, how much active moves he's able to make, and he's going to have a really tough start.
No, absolutely. And you have to draft like this against Limp Tiny, right? You can't let this man have a free lane because he will just straight up win the game. If Limp gets free farm mid, his Tiny, pretty much the best in the game, play for the mid position. So yeah, this response from PSG LGD, very much respecting that. And as you said, just giving the chance to make sure that doesn't come out from Limp, or at least has a much less likely probability of happening in the other game.
I'm surprised they went for the Kunkka offlane too. I've seen S4 doing it a bunch in pubs, but into the Undying, that's the thing that keeps standing out for me. As top, FNG, he's gonna live.
Not quite. Maybe Jin Q might be in trouble. He's still got a leap left. There's a leap left, so he manages to break himself away from Nico, baby.
Nicely done. FNG has the extra regen too, has the salve to keep himself topped off. He needs to keep topped off too. There's a lot of pressure that comes out between this Axe and Mirana. We've seen so many times these Axes just dominate lanes. Yeah, I'm mostly keeping my eyes on bottom, seeing what Innocence can do, because I feel like as soon as they hit level 2, S4 or Hanskin are just dead. They might even just do it right here.
Drop the
Innocence hits 2.
Yeah, why?
Tomb's down.
Yeah. I mean, the Money Shot won't quite catch onto S4, but still, yeah, just this harassment from the Undying alone is going to be very annoying, and not even able to get the gold out of this. They might turn towards Hanskin instead, but Innocence quite fine with the body blocks. He can't. Hanskin manages to get out of there. But yeah, you're seeing that potential from the safe lane duo.
Yeah, and just S4 can't approach creep wave. That's the biggest scare for me. As soon as you start just getting 1 or 2 decays onto you, the Drow's damage just hurts too much. You're at such a low HP pool that each one of those hits hurts more than they normally would because of that. As Ame, level 3 now, so he's got 2 points inside those Frost Hours for the chase. So if this lane starts to push forward too much into LGD's favor, onto their side, that's where it gets scary for Alliance. If Alliance has the positioning here, it's not so bad, but the fact that it's not pushing in, this is where you're going to have to watch S4. The damage will just start to ramp up from these right clicks, and you don't really care too much about Tidebringer. You have so much armor on Drow. Look at the connected Torrent.
They're going to try and get a hit on with the Torrent, but more than fine here. Ame still has stick charges, Fairy Fire. Won't be able to burst him. Do get the extra connection there with the Shadow
They got
Poison,
the fifth.
so we'll
they got the
fifth.
fifth.
It's enough. Hansken. He did. He was able to find the last one. The 5 stacks there. Hansken getting a huge kill there. Of course, with that insane burst damage that he was able to build up there. Ame was trying the best with the side steps, but Hansken just landing it every time.
He walked back into that last one too. I don't think he expected it to be that much damage, but it was a level 3 Shadow Demon that just got hit, so he will go Suicide Tower, refill. Nice moves down bottom. Did not expect him to get the Drow kill like that.
I don't think Ame did either. Yeah,
no.
Can't underestimate that huge burst there coming from the 5th stack.
Mid lane, still not doing so bad. Limp, I think he's doing pretty decent considering the matchup versus a Razor.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you've got to imagine that even though the matchup's hard, Limp's probably played Tiny against Razor quite a few times. I would imagine a lot of players, pubs, pro games, do pick the Razor against his Tiny. So he's been in this situation many times before.
Up top, FNG, arrow connects. He's looking dead.
At bottom, again! Hansken!
They get the stack.
He does it again. Yeah, he gets
Hansken.
it with these stacks. He's crushing it down here. He's going to be able to get Innocence as well. Stacks are upon him. There it is. He is crushing this bottom lane, and he needs to as well. We saw how tough of a start S4 was having on the first sort of few minutes of waves. Hansken, he's just completely compensated for that. These kills that he's getting and the pressure he's putting onto Ame, this is massive. Now, Ame's having no start at all now. It's such a slow beginning here for the Drow because these back-to-back deaths from the Shadow Demon.
I love watching aggressive Shadow Demons that play like that. That was such good moves from Hanskin. S4 now completely caught up, 17-2 after this as well. Gonna bring a health shortly. Top still, Faith Beyond able to put a lot of pressure here already. His ring of health, his Vanguard's pretty much done. They have earned charges too.
Now with these deaths on PSG LGD, it's no longer as easy as it was, to sort of play as aggressive as the two want to.
Yeah, Ame's now level 3. Undying is higher level than him, and S4 is about to hit level 5. So that entire lane that was looking really strong for the Drow, just completely gone because of Hanskin's play. And he's even going back and stacking now. Yeah, Hanskin's on fire right now. 4-1, all 4 kills going for him.
That's 4. Step up it, take a hit or so from the tower, but you can see Ame being very careful with his position now, not chasing any of these heroes, making sure that he keeps close to the creeps. As he knows Hansken's going to be hunting for action, and in fact, if they can build up enough damage to take down this Undying. The stacks are there, Ame will step forward, will start to try and push back the 2 of them. This is safe, the wraparound's coming, it's a big one. Hansken, he just goes straight for the TP out. Big brain play there from Hansken as he saves himself with the rotation. S4, on the other hand, will not quite be as lucky. Presence of the Razor, enough to push the 2 of them out of the lane. Top lane, trying to dive in, and get the kill onto FNG. Is Nico Baby and Limp able to do anything in return? The Avalanche toss has already been used. Gonna try and stay on top of Faith. We'll have another round of the spells in a moment. Q, rather annoying here, dropping the hand down as well as that Battle Hunger. Limp taking heavy damage from the two. Still trying to get in and close the gap for a extra round of the Avalanche toss, but it's not gonna happen. It's PSG LGD, they'll get out, and Limp not quite able to punish them.
That was close. Zinq doing a good job of just poking him constantly so he can't get the secondary go at the combo. Bottom. Poisons.
He's trying to get the grab here. Got the Torrent. 3 stacks.
These poisons.
Will they get up to the 5th? One more from Hansken, it'll do it. Hansken again taking out Arme.
Wow.
Will lose his life for it, but just doing everything possible to make sure that this Drow barely gets a chance to hit the creeps down here. Just constant kills here from Hansken onto Arme.
Innocence is going to be higher level than his Drow now at this point. Getting that kill onto the Shadow Demon afterwards. S4 now up to level 6. This Drow might just have to jungle.
Yeah, this lane does not seem an easy place to be when Hansken's around.
He departs.
And yeah, look,
He TP's to Outpost. Yeah, I don't think he can go back down there at all. He'll just get chain chased out. This has been such a good performance from Hansken. As immediately toward mid.
See the rotation coming in. Look who's there, Hansken ready to help out, and Nico Baby as well. They're pretty much bringing the entirety of them. They do lose FNG on the way out. Nothing to say able to bring him down with him. And of course, the big kill going towards Alliance, taking out that mid.
Both carries unable to lane though. Void can't go near this. Axe unless he constantly has rotations from Limp. Drow can't lane bottom unless he gets constant rotations from the Razor, so both gonna start jungling for some time. Alliance making the rotation down. Do have a big creep wave to go for this tower. Innocence will use his mana, a bit lacking on the Tombstone mana, so I don't know if they'll want to fight down here if he doesn't have it. Let's see. It's up to the Razor. Razor's going to TP mid, so I think they are just going to sack this now.
Yeah,
Innocence is grabbing XP.
Showing his face.
Yeah, he's just taking XP from the creep wave that's dying to the tower. Level 6 now on the Undying, but that tower will drop. Still 2k advantage here for PSG LGD, even though the Drow was suffering so much. But with those 3 deaths, he's going to be able to jungle and catch back up. And the other 2 lanes did go that successful for them with the Axe and the Razor.
Yeah, the mid lane, as you said, expected to have that lead. What we got?
He went for the deny. I thought he might get it. He tried to just smack it there. He's invis now, Moonlight Shadow. Looks like it's going to save his life also for it. S4 came hunting.
And do you like this from Nothing to Say this game? As the mid-Razor just rushing the hood to give him some sort of tank ability against that burst combo from Alliance's heroes?
Absolutely. I think it's one of the better items this game. When you're playing versus Tiny, it's always valuable to have the cloak. Having the raindrop is super nice, even versus AA. And versus Kunkka, honestly. Since it's an off-lane Kunkka, it's more magic damage. FNG, the arrow. It hits.
Excellent arrow from Xingqiu. Lines it up perfectly. TPs will be coming in, and Nothing to Say a little bit low. Avalanche and toss over towards him. Treat not enough there, as we've only just got the hood done.
He just got it.
Just made the difference. Yeah, it just came out.
Oh, he gets hit by the envenomed weapon when he's earned, so it's not going to heal him as much. Everyone watch out for those annoying Ghoul Assassins.
Seeing over towards the river. Arme, he's got the silence. S4's going to come over to try and help out. Here's Xingqiu continuing to commit onto the Shadow Demon. Will bring down Hansken, leap out to the side. Limp comes in with the combo on, and Nothing to Say, but Nothing to Say is able to step out of there. Faith Brown pulling the attention away from Limp with the call. Gets X-Mark back into the boat combo, but it's not enough damage from Alliance. They can't quite blow up this Axe. Faith Brown's able to walk out with still half his HP intact.
Oh, so close. S4 was inches from X-marking the Drow. They would have been able to get the kill onto Ame there, but he's able to back up, go back to jungle. That was close to them getting that kill. And that hood, 2 times now it saves Nothing to Say, so I think that's definitely the most reasonable purchase for him.
Absolutely. As long as he can live, get a good link off in the fights, you know, ideally onto the Void once he's jumped in with the Time Walk, then of course it's going to be hard for them to find the damage to kill these tanky heroes with the hood, with the Vanguard on the Axe. And by the Axe, Faith Beyond pretty much having the Blink Dagger done. So his fast items that are coming out are going to make these fights even more disruptive. They're going to have to be very careful how they step in, as they've got good control and call into the arrow to keep Alliance fighting underneath these things, such as the Tombstone and the multi-shot from the Drow Ranger.
I think we'll see a lot of the heroes on PSG LGD just tanking up a bit, not only because they're playing versus Tiny, but because of the whole idea of Alliance's draft is delete a hero. That's when you see the AA, the Void be super successful. Same thing for your Kunkka. If these fights start getting to these drawn-out portions, Alliance is going to have a really hard time. Fighting into Tombstone, fighting into continuous resets and calls from the Axe, and just a Razor and Drow beating on them from a distance. 2K Gold League, Faith Beyond, as you said, Blink is ready.
He wants to go for a big jump here around the mid.
Level 3 Tombstone's about to be level 4.
They're going to go for the jump on the Kunkka. Straight in with the Link. S4 shouldn't stand much of a chance here as the Link will build up. S4 gets blown up by the Starstorm damage. They drop the Demonic Purge on Nothing to Say to stop him from being able to charge in. And
look at
hold back Innocence though, as he's just diving in underneath the tier 1 tower, ready to keep pushing on. They need extra backup coming in from Alliance. NicoBaby's TPing over. They'll turn over towards Innocence. Chrono's going to be dropped down as NicoBaby looks towards taking out Xingqiu as well. And with the bashes coming in, it's enough. They bring down Xingqiu. Another jump, another call though from Faith Beyond as he's in straight on top of the face of F&G. As they'll still come out on top of this fight here, PSG LGD taking down the 3 of them. Only losing the 2 supports themselves.
And Ame's chilling during all of it. He's just farming triangle. He's a team. How's it going? Okay, great. Good job with the 5v4 fight. If there's a tombstone dropped in the fight and Alliance isn't all immediately hitting it with the SD and the AA included, which is not what you really want to be doing as your 2 supports, they have to just run. This tombstone is going to be a huge problem for the triple melee cores.
Oh, Innocence.
Innocence.
And he's going to walk into pretty much the entirety of the Alliance there now. With the Demonic Purge and the Ice Blast, they're going to have to set up onto Nothing to Say. Army trying to push them back with the slow of the multi-shot. Faith Beyond's making his way over. The X marks there from S4, dragging Nothing to Say back. He'll get the link off, but he tossed underneath the tower. Nothing to Say. He's got the movement speed, though, to get away from it all. The poison's going to miss. I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be able to escape. They'll lose F&G under the tower. NicoBaby, he is there with the wraparound. So they will manage to catch Nothing to Say on his attempt to retreat. Which is a good job there. So that would have been very frustrating for Alliance there if he was able to walk away as low HP as he was. As nearly making it out from the complete combo they dropped on him.
That's a good way to start the fight too, right? And the Undying walks out of position, kill him before Tombstone is able to get dropped down, then you can win the fight, even without Chronosphere. Yeah. And a great, typical contribution from your carry, just walking in and, one attack, getting a kill.
Yeah, NicoBaby's going to be happy with that. I mean, his farm still on par with that, the top 2 on PSG LGD. Maelstrom into the SMY, nothing surprising about the build-up. Yeah, so he's going to make good time on it. Even so, though, it's not an easy game, as you mentioned, for the Void. These fights are still going to favor PSG LGD at this stage of the game, considering the heroes and these early sort of build-up they have on all their cores. These little tanky items that just make it that hard, really, for Alliance to get in, get that jump before the fight kicks off. And obviously easier for PSG LGD to just start the action. Faith Beyond leading the charge yet again with the smoke, Blink Dagger at the ready. Seeing if they can find anyone in the triangle. NicoBaby playing it very safe, hidden in the trees behind this tier 1 tower. They won't catch him.
They don't quite have the blink yet on Limp, so he doesn't even make his way over with this smoke. He wants to finish the Blink Dagger. They're just going to get vision, maybe even block out the camps. Yeah, so blocking out both camps to make sure that the Drow isn't just able to farm at that super fast pace. Because they know that the rest of PSG LGD, they're running as this 4-man unit. They're like, where's Ame? Gotta always be sure to slow that Drow Ranger down. We see the build from Nothing to Say was pointed out by our observer before. Sage right after with that hood. He is unbelievably tanky. Look at this, 2100 HP with the Iron Witchwood tree as well. So bursting him is gonna be a pretty tough option. They're gonna have to throw pretty much everything onto him.
Yeah, and even then, that's not going to feel too good because then you're not going to have the tools to sort of deal with the other cores. Because of just how much, as you say, you are going to have to throw down to threaten the life of this Razor. It's not easy team fights for Alliance to take, and as the farming continues, they do only slip further behind. S4 will manage to take out this top tower. Alliance that immediately go for the smoke TP down bottom. They want to make a play with the Chronosphere back online from NicoBaby. They want to try and get Ame. As Ame shows himself in the lane, Ice Blast lined up very, very nicely there. Great angle from FNG, and with the jump from Limp, they'll get themselves the kill. Very quick and smooth move there from Alliance to punish Ame's position. Moonlight Shadow coming out from PSG LGD though, as they still want to try and take the fight. It's going to be the jump from Faith Beyond. He's in with a call onto the Shadow Demon as Handscan will fall. NicoBaby trying to fight back. He has got the Chronosphere available. And he's going to get caught out by the arrow. Will jump over to the side. Doesn't really want to drop the Chrono here as he knows there's going to be a lack of damage. He'll still drop it anyway just to save himself, but it has to be a Chrono and an escape. There's no way to take the fight right in. Nearly getting the call there, but NicoBaby's CP done just in time. As Alliance, they just have to bail, as we're seeing. It's so hard for them to use the Chrono aggressively at this stage. PSG LGD's lineup is just, it's pretty terrifying here at 16 minutes.
Even the Undying is terrifying. I see he's gone for Orb Corrosion, so interesting here. You know, the illusions won't apply Orb Corrosion back on yourself when he's been disrupted, so switching it up a little bit. And look at this. NicoBaby, they're starting to realize, they're like, dude, this Tombstone is such a big issue. They have to time walk in to try to go for it, but then NicoBaby's like, oh my god, I have Flesh Golem on me. This amplified damage plus Corrosion. I need to run. I need to reset. He has to use Chronosphere in order to survive. So fight's still looking very difficult, and that's when Alliance, they have 5 versus 4. The Drow was dead before that fight started.
And it just, I mean, at what point is it going to take for us to see, you know, NicoBaby being able to turn up, drop the Chrono, and feel that he is doing damage? I feel like that's just, it's many items away on the Void until that point's going to come into play.
I absolutely agree. I feel like he has to get so many. That's why I was opening up the, you know, the panel thing. You know, Lizard was lifting some weights. I felt like NicoBaby really needed to lift some weights to get to later stages because they're all so tanky. They have an excellent lineup to be able to deal with this Void, and there is damage to get inside that Chronosphere, but it all has to be lined up perfectly.
See what they can find here. Faith Beyond.
He's spotted.
Leading the charge perfectly the last few times. Yeah, they're on top of S4. Their backup coming in, TPs are coming over, but the call into the arrow, it's there. There's no saving the Kunkka.
This Vessel's doing work as well on Jin-Q. That extra bit of damage versus a tanky hero like Kunkka. And then that makes him tanky too, as we see him with Shovel, Vessel. He takes the damage talent, though. Okay, noted Jin-Q, not taking the health talent this game. Even versus all this damage, doesn't care. And keeping themselves up at this 4K lead. NicoBaby's still farming, but he's really the only one farming at the moment.
S4 on Limp. I mean, Limp as well, understandably, you know, you play the Tiny because you want to jump and go. You want to blow up these heroes. And, you know, Limpy, he's been able to do so for the most part, 1-1 and 5. It's just, he's 1-1-5 now. It's going to be very hard to get those kills and assists up anymore because of the sort of the same issues that NicoBaby's struggling with. You know, Limp, who is he actually looking at and saying, I can jump and blow up this hero? Even with the Ice Blast, some of these targets, they're just not going to die.
It has to be Drow in every single one of the fights. Like, if he catches an Undying, who cares? The Undying is now tanky enough at this point to survive the brunt of the force. Limp jumps forward, won't be able to get nothing to say. And yeah, that's why I was a bit surprised they went for this mid-Tiny into the Undying pick. 2 heroes that, as support, that really ruin Tiny for people out there, it's Phoenix, or that ruin Tiny, is Phoenix and Undying. These 2 support heroes just make the game really difficult for you to play because you're slowed or you're just getting destroyed by Egg or Sunray or something along those lines. It always just ends up being a problem for these core Tinies. 6K lead, LGD, taking advantage of the map.
I mean, for the next fight as well, nothing to say. He's pretty much going to have his BKB done. We'll see bottom. Try and drop the Ice Blast in, but a quick jump to the side. Jin-Q's away.
And he's got a hood of his own, so he's ready. Even if he gets hit by that and the combo, he might still survive. That's why I was a bit surprised that he takes the damage talent rather than going for health, because that would give him even more survivability, but Jin-Q's a greedy player, so he always goes for those type of talents. And we're seeing the Manta being built up by Faith Beyond, so extra scaling potential, extra damage that it feels like PSG LGD is gaining more and more strength. Sure, we're going into a Void, into these later kind of stages where Void loves to play, but the rest of his teammates, just like we said, they're not really getting that scale. The Tiny, the Kunkka.
No. PSG LGD, they're just keeping their foot on the pedal. Another smoke up, Faith Beyond ready to look for a jump. Who's he going to grab? He'll go for FNG, eliminate the threat of an Ice Blast.
Is Hanskin, is he going to show his face? Ooh.
Yeah, they don't know he's here. He should be fine.
He's getting good farm on Hanskin, didn't really point that out. The Aether Lens plus the point booster, he's got Philosopher's Stone, so going straight for that Ags. Could be decent. Nothing amazing to break, though.
Can they blow up the axe? They've got the 3 of them.
Blast. I don't think so without A Blast. Let's see.
They're going to try. The boat coming down, but the backup's coming in, and indeed it's not quite enough. Fabian, he's just going to TP right in front of them, but Limp does have toss available, so we'll put a stop to that. They will manage to kill off Fabian. See if they lose any heroes for this, though, as S4, he'll be chased down by Innocent Xingqiu, and nothing to say as S4 can't get out. But they do get the kill. They are able to take him down. They'll get an off lane for an off lane, and whilst behind, that's a trade that Alliance will take.
God bless that Arcane Rune for Limp. If they didn't have that Arcane Rune, he's going to finish that TP right in front of them. As top, Nico Baby will be okay. Do at least get the kill. Slow down Faith Beyond a little bit, but again, losing their Kunkka.
Still that 6k difference. Meanwhile, we've got Limp getting online after the blink. Okay, the Echo Saber's done, so
yep,
a bit of a step up there to the burst damage that he will have to offer when he makes that jump.
Not bad, not bad. Hanskin also up to 1600 gold after point boost. He's gonna have an early Aghanims. That's gonna be nice, at least to maybe not to break anything in particular. Sure, versus like Storm Surge and something like that could be decent, but it's more just to hold these heroes in place and just extra little bits of damage where I feel like Alliance is gonna need. Hey, Blast to scout the Roche. A bit worried about Ame sneaking his way in there. Ame quietly catching back up in farm too. 0, 4, and 5, but he's almost tied with the Void in net worth. And now they will sneak their way into the pit. They know AA Blast is down. Alliance won't make it in time. And I don't know if they want to fight in that area either. That just gives Tombstone the best position. Yeah, Tombstone is way too hard to fight into this stage without a real way to kill it properly. Only the two supports really can't do that. So yeah, I think they just give it up.
There we have it. Ame, as you said, the target that they may have the possibility to burst is now going to have 2 lives ready for that next team fight. So making the focus of Alliance much more difficult in terms of target priority.
Feels like it's going to be Nico Baby versus the world. Nico Baby and Hanskin versus the world in particular. Since Hanskin, yeah, he's nearly got Ags done. He is quietly farming up on the side here. PSG LGD, though, comfortably now going to go for a tier 2.
Yeah, this is what we always love to see when there's a Void in the game. We love to see the pressure on the big chronos. You know, that's what everyone's waiting for. Everyone's getting the popcorn out, ready for the incredible chronos or the incredible misses. And we'll see what Nico Baby pulls out, because as you say, it's got to be big. It's got to be some huge stuff here from the Nico Baby Void this game.
They're setting up for this. They want this fight. They got the tier 2 themselves top, instantly rotating over. Moonlight Shadow 2 for the speed. FNG is going to TP out. Nice next pickup for Nico Baby is going to be a pretty big one. The Scotty, not versus any huge kind of heals. Sure, Soul Rip is one of the bigger ones, but versus 2 ranged carries. That could be really nice, just the increased threat that it does do versus ranged. But PSG LGD, they TP bottom, force them away from the tier 2, and they immediately smoke. They see Nico Baby for a second, they want him. Ame still in the area. Hanskin, that's his Ags. He's got it done.
He's had such an impact in the early game at Hanskin. You know, he's definitely been having the better of starts here. Let's see if this Ags timing is going to be enough to be that extra bit of power that Alliance need to threat PSG LGD in these situations. Nothing
it's
to
not
say.
versus the best breaks, though.
On top of the BKB.
Like usually when we see these SD Ags, it's like you're versus like a Spectre, a PA, where it's going to have this massive influence in the game. This one, it's a bit different. It's more just like some extra damage being thrown out. Maybe he goes for something like, I mean, I haven't seen it, but maybe he goes for something like a shard to be able to disengage from people, but there's nothing really good to defensively dispel off either. So it does feel like he's good. He's got this good farm. He's had this good impact early, but what's this Ags really going to do? Is it really going to be that impactful that they've been giving him this much priority of farm? Because it just feels like PSG LGD, they're getting more on the map with their 3 cores in comparison. It's, as we said, just really the Void on the side of Alliance who's getting that big farm.
I'll be interested to see what Nico Baby feels that he needs to get next after the Skadi. It's not a game where... I think he can skip BKB, right? I don't think you need to buy the BKB this game. There's too many things that go through it. And you've got to go...
He has to go for more. I agree, 100%.
So I guess, you know, it's probably going to be MKB or Butterfly.
And they're losing all their vision. I think MKB would probably be the likely one, yeah. And they're losing all their vision. I'm watching Innocence. They buy. This is a common thing we've seen in China when they get these early pace drafts. They buy an early gem. I really don't see any other region doing that still. And they're utilizing it perfectly here. There's only one ward on the map now for Alliance. Bottom. Limp.
Hansken will be able to kite Nothing to Say back, but he's in with the BKB and Faith Beyond, he's in with the jump. Gets the grab onto Hansken. The Tombstone is going to be dropped down. NiKoBaby and S4, they've got to get out of it. They've got to run. Limp's going to stay hidden in the trees. S4 being chased, slowed down by the zombies. Also FNG, he steps in range of Arme. They're going to drop the chrono. It will catch Nothing to Say over towards the side, and that will be enough to kill off the red. He's going to lose his life for it. I mean, they get a core with the chrono, but it's just not enough. 4 heroes dead on Alliance. As PSG LGD, it really doesn't matter. They lose 1 core. They're probably going to win most of these fights 4v5 anyway with the lead that they have.
Yeah, and now they get a gem of their own. They take away the gem from Alliance, at least inside that fight too, and it's S4, he's just getting chased the whole time from the 2 supports. Look at them, the Flesh Golem, that amp damage. And it's just a clean up there from PSG LGD. The Drow getting no attention on her whatsoever. Ame finally gets some relief, gets the top net worth in the board, and onto the high ground. No Chronosphere. How does Alliance fight back?
Yeah, it's just been 2 solid games from Ame and the carry department. Now, game 1, his team was sort of having a tough time. Game 2, he was having a bit of a tough time at the beginning, but he has come back into this perfectly. Top net worth, showing exactly what needs to be done. Even when you do have these laning situations where he was dying, back-to-back deaths in lane, a complete recovery here from Ame.
His team knows how to enable him so well. They're just running around his 4, making constant plays. The Razor, we see Nothing to Say, just like last time. He's like the sacrifice a bit here. Sure, he's only got 3 deaths this time around, but just like Puck, he just runs in, tanks the brunt of the action, and then the Drow has freedom because there's no spells really up left from the side of Alliance. 12k gold lead now, feeling almost impossible for Alliance to fight back. Like you said, needing a massive chrono, but there's so many different elements now that they can't really go through. The BKB, the pipe, there's so many different tanky methods for PSG LGD to survive through. Faith Beyond has 2,800 HP. He's still hanging on to a chip vest. If he had a bigger item, he'd be even stronger.
And Alliance, they're trying to see if they can maybe catch someone alone. That's FNG, and he's going to end up walking into a Razor. The rest of Alliance have to scatter back to base.
LGD too good.
Baby's nearly got the Skadi. He is queuing up the Satanic, so feeling that he wants to continue to build up for survivability. I mean, without that, it's such a tough position because honestly, what does he buy to try and rectify this game? He needs so many items. But obviously, going for the Satanic will still mean that the damage issues will be there. Even being able to live that longer in the fights, what really is going to be able to be achieved here by Alliance is just so hard against PSG LGD's items.
It is a nice dispel versus the Gust at the very least, but yeah, even then, it just still will feel like they won't have damage because Limp's game, sure, he's 2-1-6, but that's not what you want to be in a Tiny in this type of game. You need to be snowballing the hell out of the game so that you don't get to this position where you just can't kill anybody. You can't even target the supports. It's an Undying with 1,700 HP. It's a Mirana with 1,570 with a pipe. There's no targets for you to go for and just delete from the map. And Alliance, the long duration team fights will not benefit them in any situation.
Looking for the lead up here for a chrono. Maybe they can get sort of a quick grab on 1 or 2 of the squishy heroes at the back and they can start with a kill. They will get the control onto Jingqiu. Jingqiu, can he actually get out? A Moonlight Shadow, but Sentry is down. They'll kill off the Mirage.
The gem. They can get back their gem. Nice.
See if they can get anything more. Faith Beyond. He's out with the blink. NiKoBaby getting in aggressive with the Time Warp. Has got this Arcane Rune.
Limp.
Nothing to Say. He's ready with the wraparound already. Limp popping the BKB. Trying to get himself away from Nothing to Say and will manage to do so just far enough. The Limp will manage to get back here to the safety of the rest of his team.
They smoked out and got a pick in a kind of a weird position, but the lanes were all pushed in completely but by Faith Beyond. That Manta, that Shard, they have to address their lanes immediately on the side of Alliance, even after getting that kill. But at least they recovered their gem. So they'll be able to get a bit more map control from that back.
15k lead though. It's a tough one here for Alliance.
Does not feel like that changed the state of the game much at all. PSG LGD smoked up, ready for the next fight. They're just hunting. They're not afraid of this at all from Alliance. Xinq's just gonna jump up to the high ground.
Yep, get the vision, they're in with the call. The disruption will come out for Hanskin to try and keep S4 safe, but Hanskin just gets run down by nothing to say, committing him with the BKB, turns over, takes out S4 as well. FNG's gone for the TP out, they've got the call back up. There's no escape for FNG. 3 kills straight up for PSG LGD. They're heading straight down the mid lane. They've got the creeps pushing in. If they want to, they can look to start poking at the base of Alliance, and with 3 heroes dead, Alliance may have to consider coming in with some buybacks or just letting this mid-rack go.
They can't fight. Nico Baby changes up the item build, but I don't think he's going to get a chance to get anything here as S4 is forced to buy back. They immediately retreat, and Roche is back up on the menu for them.
Yeah. I mean, this was definitely necessary from Nico Baby. I guess feels that he can do so as well because he found the Paladin sword, so we'll have that life steal to rely on. And yeah, needs something to amp up the damage. It's all resting on the shoulders of Nico Baby's potential to carry what is an immensely difficult game and difficult position to carry as a Void from.
S4, he walks out.
I mean, they're ready to control it. Fabian is in with the jump. Arme's going to be able to start kicking out the damage from the side. Nico Baby jumps in, but he's been arrowed. They've got the arrow into the silence. Nico Baby, he's going to go down. He jumps in and he's dead immediately, not able to get anything off. They don't have buybacks. There's 3 dead for over a minute on Alliance. PSG LGD, they'll be able to run it down mid. They may even just call it. If PSG LGD realize they can go for tier 4s, they can look to end here with the push of the Drow.
I think they will. I think they're going to go tier 4s here. They have the Drow Razor combo, that marksmanship. This is where it kicks in perfectly. There is a glyph, so holds them back for a moment, but they have so much time, they're going to go right back in.
Yeah, they have so much time. Hansken and FNG, they can't hold this back on their own. PSG LGD going straight for the throne here. Tier 4's down. The Ancient exposed. Buyback is there for Nico Baby. All right. He's going to go for something huge. He's going to try and come in from the back line. But immediately jumps in, he gets silence. They've got the silence. They're ignoring the Void. They're just hitting the Ancient. They're ending the game. GG is called as PSG LGD with an incredibly impressive second game. 2 games here back to back where we really have, we saw the power from PSG LGD that we've just got used to seeing from them in this run up to the playoffs. Alliance, they turn up and they're just not quite ready to deal with it here.
No, I really love the way that LGD set up this draft too. I think Alliance kind of picked themselves into a corner with the Kunkka with the tiny last 2 picks. There's an Undying in the game. They have 3 melee cores. Who's going to hit Tombstone? When are you going to be able to win yourself a team fight? Sure, they killed Ame, 4 times in laning phase from some phenomenal plays from Hanskin, but after that, it was PSG LGD just